brain nutrition changed our lives. Like so many people, we both faced painful health struggles for a long time. We both tried to ignore it until we had no choice but to confront it.
My anxiety was starting to get the better of me. I noticed tension creeping up on me, and I was struggling to catch my breath, even just sitting in front of a screen.
In my last company, we'd grown insanely fast, but then things started to slow down. In the high-pressure world of venture capital-backed businesses, that's a big problem. And the intensity of the situation over a year really started to take its toll on me. Eating would lead to bloating, which led to brain fog, bad moods, and low energy.
Then one day, I couldn't sleep. I assumed that to be an anomaly, but then it happened again and again for 6 months. What started off as poor sleep developed into full-blown insomnia.
I tried every type of diet, keto, plant-based, no carbs, sometimes fasting, but no luck. I got myself into a bit of a vicious cycle. Work was going badly, causing more tension, causing more gut issues, stopping me from working, so work got worse. One evening at the theatre, I suddenly felt more bloated than ever, like I had a football in my stomach. And then the pain started. I developed a temperature and a fever, and this stuck with me for 72 hours.
The most confusing part was things in my life were fine. I really didn't have any reason to feel this way. I tried a sleep therapist, sleeping apps. I also went to the doctor who recommended sleeping pills and antidepressants. And although I was desperate, I personally didn't want to take them. I thought there must be a better way. After 6 months of insomnia, I was ready to try anything. So when a friend suggested my nutrition might be the cause, I booked an appointment with a dietitian. Together, we assessed my diet and discovered I was missing some key nutrients to keep my body and mind healthy. They immediately recommended some very potent and very expensive supplements. I was skeptical, of course, I'm English after all. I was also desperate, so I did what I was told. 200 pounds, and 3 days later, I was sleeping through the night, feeling great and utterly amazed at this transformation.
I also recognized the need to speak to a professional and booked an appointment to see a gastroenterologist. After testing, we found out the cause of all these problems was stress. I had only been focused on its impact on my mental well-being, not realizing it was also having a large physical impact. My cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone, were elevated, and that was affecting my gut, so I wasn't digesting my food properly. After some initial medication and ongoing prescription of mindfulness, fiber, and probiotics, my gut health improved.
In the end, we both learned the same lesson. Quality nutrition was the great unlock. All along, the key to not just less pain, but feeling like ourselves again, and even beginning to thrive, was something as simple as nutrition. Then we started wanting as much of life as possible.
Better fuel led to less bloating, more energy, more focus, better mood, and better outcomes.
Better sleep led to more energy, more focus, more output, more presence. At this point, we started to think about how many people around the world could be in similar situations. We continued our research, looking for nutritional shortcuts, and created a weekly newsletter focused on sharing what science says about how to take care of your brain and gut, covering nutrition, neuroscience, and psychology, quoting the scientific research, but making it modern.
That's when our obsession with simple, science-led solutions really started to take hold. There was just one problem. Whilst quality nutrition was the key, it's not as simple as it sounds.
People are busy and often have no option but to prioritize other things to get by, just like we did. Cooking 3 perfect meals a day when you're working long, stressful hours or caring for others is tough. Even if by some miracle you manage to find the time to do all of that, research shows that modern diets actually create vitamin deficiencies.
Things like our modern lifestyles or environmental factors such as pollution or the depletion of soils due to intensive farming make it really difficult to feed your brain so that it can benefit your body and mind. Finding and taking 10 different supplements to solve that is time-consuming and expensive. The worst part is, most of them don't even work due to things like bioavailability and antiquated encapsulation processes. When they don't have their own evidence to show their products actually work, it's time to find something that does.
The good news is there is an easy way to do it. Heights was founded on the idea that less is more, because we wanted a solution that made this process simple. But it's hard to design these things alone. That's why we teamed up with 2 world-class experts, neuroscientist Dr. Tara Swart and consultant dietitian Sophie Medlin. Their knowledge meant we could start a company that put nutrition at the center of the health journey with no compromises.
Together, we combine the power of nature and the wisdom of science into brilliant nutritional shortcuts, working back from what ingredients science says you need to thrive for body and mind.
The more we've learned about the symbiotic relationship between brain and gut, the more confidence we've gained that if you want better todays and more tomorrows, you need a healthier body and mind combined. They're simple, science-led solutions and pure, vital nutrients that are fundamental to your health. Truly effortless supplements can help us fill in the gaps in our diet and support us in body and mind. For us, that's what ultimately made the difference. And we want everyone to experience that change so that they too can reach their heights.